Now let's talk about keywords on LinkedIn because keywords are incredibly important if you're looking to drive traffic and bring people to your profile on LinkedIn. So what exactly are LinkedIn keywords? Well, LinkedIn keywords are different types of words that we add to our LinkedIn profile in different areas, such as in our skills section, in our headline, in our about you, and potentially even in our name in order to get brought up in different searches on the platform. So for example, if you were a PMP certified project manager, one of the keywords that you might have somewhere in your profile or mentioned multiple times might be PMP certified. Now, when hiring managers or recruiters are looking for a PMP certified project manager, you're likely going to come up in their searches because you have PMP listed on your profile. So essentially, keywords are useful if we're looking to bring people to our profile and gain attention for either specific skills, specific job duties, specific certifications we have, specific education, whatever we have that is unique and we're looking to bring people to us with, that's the type of keywords that we're going to actually use. So again, keywords are essentially just words for different skills, job titles, and anything that helps us bring people to our profile. Now, one thing to be aware of is your keywords are going to vary from person to person. So even if you have two project managers, they may have completely different keywords in their profile because they may be doing something completely different. For example, this project manager number one, he might be more in the technology project management sector. So he might have more niche keywords. Like, for example, he might have Agile, Scrum, he might have Extreme Programming or XP. And this second project manager, well, she might have keywords more for construction project management. So she might be using waterfall project management. She might be very familiar with WBSs or work breakdown structures. And each of these project managers, even though they're both project managers, may have completely separate keywords based on the way they're looking to really build themselves on the LinkedIn platform and the way that they're looking to be seen. And now that you know a little bit about keywords and how they can help bring us up in different searches, let's start to understand where we can actually get keywords. And now we're going to move into the actual hands-on or demo portion of this video. So the first place I actually recommend that you look for keywords on is ChatGPT. Start a new chat with ChatGPT and you can paste something like this. What are some common keywords for LinkedIn for a project manager that I should use on my profile if I'm looking to get a job as a project manager and I'm currently just a project coordinator? So in this case, I built my prompt to look or provide me keywords for a aspiring project manager, the project manager who's currently working as a project coordinator, but you can use it for anything. So let's say that you were an information technology technician looking to move into cybersecurity. Even if you're looking to go into a completely different role in a little bit different of a field, we could do that. So in this case, let's just go ahead and run this and see what it feeds us here. So as you can see, ChatGPT gave us a bunch of different keywords that we can use. Now, I'll show you how exactly to put these keywords on your profile if this was something you were looking to do. But as you can see, depending on the way that you ask ChatGPT, you can get a lot of different keywords, and we can also make sure that these are all relevant to us by just manually going through each keyword and saying, okay, yeah, that's something that I know how to do, or maybe even that's something I'm learning how to do, or maybe that's something I've done at home, or whatever it is, or maybe I've learned about it in a course, whatever it is, whatever keywords apply for what you've done, what you're looking to do, what you're aspiring to do, I highly suggest you get these keywords, save them somewhere, and then we're going to actually fill in our LinkedIn profile with these later. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and ask ChatGPT one more question here. I'm going to say, what keywords should I use on LinkedIn profile if I'm just a project coordinator looking to become a project manager? Or let's just say I'm a project manager like this here. Let's go ahead and run the prompt. And you can see here that ChatGPT gave us a lot of different keywords. In this case, as I mentioned earlier, you can start to really dive into more niche keywords. For example, in project management, waterfall is more of a niche keyword, agile is as well, and so are these. So just keep in mind, there's a lot of great keywords in here and that ChatGPT can provide you. But if you're looking to narrow down your profile, you may want to ask ChatGPT about specific keywords. For example, earlier we talked about a project manager who's only using agile and Scrum. So we might ask ChatGPT about agile and Scrum related keywords for a technology project manager position specifically. But as you can see here, this is a great way to get keywords, and this is the way that I recommend. It is by far the fastest and the easiest, but there are some other ways that we can look at keywords and get keywords that are specifically used in job postings. So let's move over to LinkedIn here, and let's go ahead and go to LinkedIn jobs. In this case, let's go ahead and run a search for project manager jobs, and let's go ahead and take a look at the different types of project management jobs that are out there. And from here, we can see that there may be a few different keywords. Remember when I said PMP might be a keyword? Well, look here. In this job description, we can see PMP, or project management professional, is a keyword. So I'm actually going to note that down for my profile because I actually don't think that I spell out the PMP certification. So I'm actually going to add this to my profile because this spells out project management professional PMP. So I'm going to take a quick note of that. That way we can go ahead and add that later when we're actually modifying out our profile. Same thing. We can go through a bunch of different job openings and we can see exactly what hiring managers and recruiters are looking for in terms of project management keywords. So for example, here we have 5+ years of project management experience, strong leadership, communication, and problem solving skills. So those those might be skills that we should add to our LinkedIn profile. I'm just looking here. I'm just very quickly going through and I'm seeing the different types of skills it has. In fact, you could even copy and paste these different job descriptions into ChatGPT in order for it to pull keywords for you. So for example, if I didn't want to look through this manually, even though it doesn't take much work, I could just pull this out, take all this text, paste it into ChatGPT and say, give me the keywords that this job is using and the keywords that it's using that I should consider using in my actual profile. In this case, I'm not going to go that far because again, this isn't going to be an in-depth or advanced course on your LinkedIn profile, but just keep in mind, you can also use these LinkedIn keywords on your resume too. That's a very, very powerful way to build a very professional resume. But in this case, for right now, we're just going to go ahead and look at a few more just so we can start to see some of the common keywords. In this case, I believe that I saw, yes, Microsoft Office. So I'm going to go ahead and note that down as a keyword because I know for a fact that's a very common keyword people use in project management. Same thing. Let's go ahead and look at this job here. I see that they don't really have a lot of information here. So I'm going to go ahead and skip this and look at just one more here. They've got a couple of different keywords, like we could use PM. That might be a good keyword, but let's look at just one more here. Let's see. Okay, so this one is awesome because I like the agile project delivery because some people do call it project delivery. I'll go ahead and add Microsoft Excel in there too as another keyword that we can add to my profile here. But as you're watching this, run a search on the different types of jobs that you're looking for, see what kind of keywords that you can get. And while we go through this video, at the very end, we're going to add some of these keywords. Keep in mind, you can add almost any of these different keywords and really anything can be a keyword. So make sure that you're looking at each of these and just understanding you can add almost any of these. So in that case, we've went through 2 out of the 3 methods. Let's go ahead and look at the last method for looking at keywords that I recommend. So let's go ahead and type in project manager here. Actually, let's go ahead and click X and then let's just go back to basic LinkedIn and then we'll type in project manager like that. And then let's go ahead and go to people here. And so what we're going to do here is these people have appeared very, very high up in the LinkedIn search results. I'm going to go ahead and actually change my location to the entire United States. And here's what we can do. Notice how these are people who appear at the very top of LinkedIn search results for project manager. So guess what? I know their profiles are going to be pretty solid with some keywords. Let's go ahead and take a look here and let's see what's going on with this person's profile. Let's go ahead and look at their skills. And let's see, looks like they have PDLC, product development, project planning, artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, agile methodologies. These are all great keywords, agile methodologies. So what I'm looking for is I'm just saying, what kind of skills do they have? What kind of keywords am I noticing here? And I'm already taking some notes. It looks like they're working with Scrum and Jira. Now, obviously, if you've never worked with these ever and you have no intention of doing it, don't just say, wow, well, that looks good, and then throw it on your LinkedIn. These are things that you've actually worked with or you're going to work with or you're researching or you've seen in courses or you plan to learn about. Don't just grab random keywords just to stuff your profile, but actually find keywords that are relevant for you. So let's look at one more person's profile here. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this person's profile and let's go ahead and take a look at their profile here. So we can see here they have a bunch of different skills, but what's even more important is they have a lot of endorsements, which is extremely powerful on LinkedIn. So while they might not necessarily have a bunch of different keywords on their skills, we do know that they have a very solid profile because they have 20 recommendations, which is very, very good. So in this case, I've gathered quite a few different keywords. So let's move over and actually edit our LinkedIn. So as you can see, we're on my LinkedIn profile. And from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add different keywords depending on where they're most relevant. Now, I suggest you add your major roles or aspiring roles again in your headline here and your different certifications up there. And I've even added my PMP to my name as well. So that's fully stacked. In your about, you can add these different keywords, but the place that I really like to put my keywords here is I like to put them in the skills section. So in this case, let's go ahead and open up our skills. And I'm going to show you a few of the different skills that I've collected as I went through and as we were researching some of these different skills. So as you can see, we have a few different skills. I'm going to go ahead and remove some of these skills here. So now let's explore adding some of these different skills here. I'm going to go ahead and click the plus button. And from here, when I'm on the skills page, it's going to expand with a few different skills that I can add. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and add Microsoft Office as a skill here, because remember earlier, this was one of the keywords that we saw. So Microsoft Office, and then I can apply it to wherever makes the most sense. I'm just going to go ahead and save it as here, and we're going to apply it to my experience. Now, from here, we can go ahead and add a few different other skills. So let's go ahead and add, I believe earlier we found Microsoft Excel as well, which is another great area, or let's just go ahead and do Agile Project Delivery. Let's go ahead and add it, save it, and you can attribute the skill to certifications, education, or work experience. That doesn't necessarily matter as much as it matters that you are actually going through and adding the skill, because where it's from, while it might be helpful, it's not nearly as important as just having the skill on your profile. So as you can see, we have added a few different skills here. I've hit the maximum number of skills, so if I wanted to add more, I would have to delete some of these out of here, which I'm not going to do right now. But as you can see, we've added these skills, and these skills will appear in LinkedIn search results. And you definitely want to make sure that these different skills or keywords are located in the skills section on your profile. And additionally, you can add them to your headline, you can add them to your about, you can add them in a bunch of different areas. So just make sure that you're researching different keywords that you can use and that you're filling out your skills section as well as other areas of your profile in order for your profile to come up on some of these keyword search results.